Hey everyone, welcome to Mountain Beast Mysteries. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys some very interesting encounters that were shared with me back in September by a U.S. Forest Service park ranger. These are the encounters that are the most interesting because, a park ranger is somebody who knows the outdoors, knows the wildlife, just knows a lot about the natural world in general, and they spend a lot of time in the forest. So for somebody like that to share an encounter with something that they think could be Sasquatch is extremely interesting. And it's stories like this that should be looked at closely and not ignored. So we're going to get into these stories right away. Before we do that, I have a message from our sponsor. This video is sponsored by the Ridge Wallet. The Ridge Wallet is a sleek, durable, minimalist wallet that is perfect for your everyday carry loadout. They make it in aluminum, carbon fiber, and titanium. I got mine in the aluminum version in OD green because I think it looks the coolest, and mine also has a money clip on it. However, because I hate having things in my pockets altogether, wearing out my pants, I actually just clip the Ridge Wallet right onto my belt and keep it out of the way, and it stays on there quite securely. The Ridge Wallet is RFID blocking, has a lifetime warranty, and can hold up to 12 cards. You need to get rid of that ugly folding leather dad wallet that's overflowing with cards and receipts and crap you don't need, and you need to pick up a Ridge Wallet. If you go to ridge.com/mountainbeast and use promo code mountainbeast, you can get 10% off and free worldwide shipping. That's ridge.com/mountainbeast, promo code mountainbeast. There's a link down below in the description. So what I'm going to do for this video is I'm just going to read the messages that were sent to me from this park ranger, and you guys can decide what you think of it. It's definitely very strange and typical of Sasquatch behavior, the stuff that goes on in these encounters. I've heard different types of sounds in different areas at different times. The first one was up Mount Rainier. It was almost like a bear huffing, which I've heard plenty, but it was more guttural, way louder, and I could feel it as loudly as I could hear it, if that makes any sense. As I was walking, I would hear it behind me off to the side of the trail, within the trees. At first, I figured it was just a bear huffing and grunting, letting me know it was there, so I shrugged it off. I had also seen bear scat a few miles back from where I came, so I just assumed that it might be a mama bear alerting me of her and her cub. But as I kept hearing it, I noticed how it didn't really sound like a bear or any other animal I'm familiar with, and the feeling was that it was keeping tabs on me. I'm not sure how to describe it, an intense feeling of being watched. The noises stopped after a little while, and I kept on going down the trail. I didn't feel immediate danger at this point, not until I kept walking down the trail and heard a similar but more aggressive sounding low guttural growling in front of me, maybe 15 to 20 yards away. At that point, I had an intense sensation of fear and ended up turning around and heading back with my hand on my bear spray. The whole time, there was no other animal noises and the forest seemed creepily quiet. I had been out there before, alone, and never have had that happen. I like to hike later in the day on my hikes to avoid crowds, so this happened between around 1500 hours and 1900 hours. I didn't notice footsteps, but I'm guessing it was stopping when I stopped. Thinking about it gives me major goosebumps. If it was a Sasquatch, it was insanely quiet for how big they're supposed to be. I hardly heard a sound other than some rustling outside of my line of sight, in the trees parallel to the trail. There was one other experience there when I brought a coworker with me on a hike. We had the same days off. We heard the exact same grunting coming from the dense trees along the trail. It was getting closer to us as we walked on, but that time the feeling of danger was overwhelming, and we silently looked at each other and acknowledged how creepy and scary it was, and just turned around and headed back towards the trailhead. Whatever it was followed us for about a mile, until another couple of hikers passed us going in the direction we came from. We warned them that there was something growling and seemed to be following us, and they went on anyways. Another time I was with a friend in the Olympic National Forest. We heard grunts and a weird guttural moaning ahead of us on the trail. I sang to it, and it made a weird crooning noise, almost like it was mimicking me. It freaked my friend out, so we briskly walked back to the camp. That time I didn't feel threatened, but my friend did. She wanted to run, but I urged her not to in case it was somehow a bear or a cougar. Those are the only possible Sasquatch experiences I've had and noticed. Seems like a lot, but I'm outside in the woods most of the year, either for work or for leisure. I have had UFO sightings at the parks I work at too this season. Multiple witnesses, including campers and park staff on multiple occasions. But that's a separate thing. Strange stuff seems to happen to me a lot. I don't get it. So those are very interesting encounters. And you hear a lot of stories where people will be walking or hiking in the woods, and they'll hear something off in the trees, kind of paralleling their movement, like following them, but just off out of sight, and just observing them. And that seems to be the same thing that's going on here. Like they're just being followed and observed. There's a lot of encounters that are like this. And you know, coming from somebody who works as a park ranger, who is well trained in bear safety and would know pretty much everything there is to know about bear behavior, it's very interesting to hear this. So to me, this is a very credible source and a credible witness. And not only do they work in the outdoors, but they spend a lot of their spare time in the outdoors in different national parks and national forests, and you know, they are out there and they have that experience and they know what they're talking about, and they know, you know, all the different animals that are out there. So if anybody else has encounters like this, you know, send them my way. This seems to be a very common Sasquatch behavior. Sometimes a similar thing will happen where people are being followed, but they'll also like smell that really distinct Sasquatch smell that people always talk about, like the skunky, musky, rotting flesh kind of smell. But that didn't happen in this encounter. Anyways, I think this is very interesting. That's all I have for today's video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. We'll see you next time on Mountain Beast Mysteries.